Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be this season's first match preview for the game between Manchester United and Fulham. And funny enough, I thought the game was being played at Craven Cottage, but it happens to be played at Old Trafford. Premier League, I see what you're doing. They just thought, you know what, United think they're on their way back to being a top club. Let's show them they're not. Let's put them on the first slot. Let's try and get them embarrassed by Fulham. They looked at the fact that Fulham beat us 3-0 last season, and they thought, you know what, let's let that happen again. Let's put them on the first slot. So they're hoping Fulham beat us, but that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Sorry, not this time around, Premier League. Not this time around. But before I get into the preview itself, I'm gonna go through some of the quotes from Eric Ten Hag's press conference, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So yeah, let's get started. So the first question that Eric Ten Hag was asked when he came to his press conference was the fact that apparently 11 out of the 20 players that Eric Ten Hag has signed since joining Manchester United were either born in Holland or have actually played in Holland. Now, 11 out of 20 is a very big number. That's more than 50%. So he then defended himself by basically saying that no, he apparently doesn't make the decision by himself. He decides with the board and the guys on the transfer committee. And I understand it to an extent because in the past he was dealing with amateurs and idiots like Myrtle and people like that. But now we've got Ineos and we've added Mazraoui, we've added Delete, we've added Zirgzi. Lenny Euro's the only one out of the four signings we've made so far that hasn't either played in Holland or wasn't born in Holland. But yeah, he defended that basically. What else was he asked? He was also asked about Luke Shaw, about the fact that he seems to always be injured for United. Isn't that frustrating? And Ten Hag basically said that no, in his first season at United, Luke Shaw was very fit, so he had no problem with him. He believes Luke Shaw will get fit soon, and also the injury to Shaw apparently is in a long-term one, so he's not that frustrated. Yes, of course, he'd like to have him fit, but he trusts Shaw and he's going to be back to playing first-team football, which honestly, I can't say I blame Ten Hag. He's just defending his player. But I think I speak for all you Man United fans when I say that we are all sick and tired of this guy, man. Get rid of Luke Shaw, man. Absolute liability. On his day, he's a good player, but I'm just sick of him. Always injured for us. And apparently he's only going to come back after the international break. If he dares go and play for England in that international break, you know, the less said about that issue, the better. But anyways, moving it on to other positive news. Ten Hag basically told the press that apparently Nusayr Mazraoui and Matthias De Ligt, our two new signings, will be available and will be part of the first team squad tonight against Fulham. So he didn't confirm whether they'll be in the starting 11, but I think they will. I think both De Ligt and Mazraoui will start. What else was he asked about? He was asked about Mason Mount, another player whose career at United has been hampered by injuries. And again, Ten Hag said he believes in Mason Mount. He's a good player. He just needs to get over his injury problems. And he believes that Mason Mount is very eager to prove himself and to the Manchester United fans as to why we paid £60 million for him. So I can't lie, I've never been a fan of Mount. And the fact that we gave him the number 7 just upsets me, honestly. It really, really irritates me. But it is what it is. At this point, I'm just hoping he actually turns out to be a good player for us. But anyways, what else was he asked? Apparently Maguire is also part of the players who are fit. They didn't say anything about Lisandro Martinez, but I'd like to believe if he was injured, we would have gotten an update by now. So I'm assuming he's also fit to play for tonight. The other important thing which Ten Hag did mention to the press was the fact that we're apparently not ready. He said we're not ready for the season, and that was because about 90% of our squad were either playing for their countries in the Copa America or in the Euros, which meant that when it came to pre-season time for Man United, the players were only just going on holiday, so they weren't able to take part in Man United's pre-season tour. Hence, the squad is not ready. They haven't gelled enough. They haven't had enough time together on the training pitch. But he's saying that we'll basically have to use the Premier League games as a chance to get rhythm and get to gel and, you know, and build some relationship with the players. So it's not sounding good. Him saying we're not ready for the season, it's not sounding good as well. But to an extent, I hear what he's saying. We haven't had the players available for pre-season. But anyways, no excuses. We need him to push this summer. Rather, this season, we need to play good football. He also said that when it comes to Joshua Zirkzee, apparently Zirkzee again is suffering from the same thing. He was away with the Netherlands in the Euros. So when he came back, he needed time off a bit. And when he came back, apparently he had a bit of a niggle towards the end of the season when he was playing for Bologna. So that's also a bit of an issue. That's why he's not match fit. So I don't expect Zirkzee to start tonight, but I do expect to see him on the bench, and I expect him to get some minutes because Ten Hag did say he just needs some game time. So hopefully he comes on maybe in the 60, 65th minute, maybe even the 70th or 75th minute, get some minutes under his belt, and hopefully he turns out to be a good striker for us because God knows we need a good striker. But I think I've covered most of what was important when it comes to Ten Hag's press conference, and moving it on to the job at hand tonight. We've got Manchester United versus Fulham. The game is at Old Trafford, as I said earlier on, and I can't lie, I'm excited. It's been a minute. I know last season I was very, 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 very miserable because of Man United, but this season I'm looking forward to it. It's a new start, clean slate. I'm looking forward to what we do. I want us to play good football. I already said my minimum requirements for this season: play good football. That's the first one, the most important one for me. Play very good, attractive football. Number 2, win me the Europa League. And number 3, qualify for top 4. Get top 4, get the Europa League, and do both those things whilst playing good football. And then, and only then, will I be able to say, you know what, I'm back to being Ten Hag in. I'm fully behind Ten Hag. If he gets top 4 or wins the Europa whilst playing rubbish football, I'm sorry, I'm still Ten Hag out. I want him to do well. I'm going to give him a chance. He needs to show he can actually deliver. He's been given the players he needs. The only 2 players he needs now is 2 midfielders, 2 ball winning midfielders, maybe even 1. But yeah, that's what he needs. So far, the squad has been improved significantly. Eric Ten Hag has been backed more than enough. Well, not more than enough, I have to be fair to him. He does need about 2 midfielders and maybe even a left back or left-sided defensive centre back. Then I think he will have more than enough tools to deliver good football like he did at Ajax. So as I said, I'm excited about tonight. When it comes to the style of play, I hope we play good football like I'm saying. That's what I want to see. I want to be entertained this season. I don't want to be shouting at the TV, screaming at the TV at how bored I am and how lazy or terrible we are. I want us to play good football, good attractive football. So tonight, the squad I would like to see us pick, and I think he might pick it. In fact, I think this is the squad that I think Eric Ten Hag will pick. It's going to be Andre Onana in goal. I can see Diogo Dalot right back. Right centre back, Matthias de Ligt. I expect him to make his debut tonight. Left centre back, Licha, Lisandro Martinez, my guy, the butcher. I can see him being there, left centre back. And when it comes to the left back position, I expect a debut tonight from Nusayr Mazraoui. When we signed him, they said he's a 2-footed fullback, so I can see him playing left back. Or we could just play Dalot at left back and play Mazraoui at right back. I don't mind. As long as both those guys are my wingers, sorry, my fullbacks, I'll be very happy. Moving on to the midfield too. Excuse me. The midfield pivot, I expect to see my star boy, of course, Kobbie Mainoo. He needs some game time because he's been in the Carabao Cup, or rather, was it Carabao? What is it? Community Shield final. He looked like he was lacking in match fitness. So let's get him some minutes under his belt. So I'd like to see a pivot of Kobbie Mainoo as well as Casemiro. I know I wanted Casemiro gone, but we still haven't gotten a potential replacement for him. So whilst this year, let's use him. Also, he looked very good against Man City in the Community Shield. He was one of our best players. So hopefully the Casemiro we saw against Man City is the one we'll see tonight. So I'd like to see a midfield two of Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro in the pivot, and in the 10, just in front of them, I'd like to see Mason Mount. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. I know most of the people hate the fact that he's our number 7 and he's on high wages and all of that. But give the guy a chance, put him in the 10, and then play with a false 9 of Bruno Fernandes just in front of Mason Mount, with him having the freedom to roam around the pitch. And then in the wingers, on the right wing, I want to see my boy Amad Diallo get a fair chance. This season, that right wing spot needs to be Amad Diallo's one. Amad has a chance here to make that spot his own, and I believe he will do that this season. So I'd like to see Amad Diallo at right wing. Left wing, a bit debatable, but I'd like to see Marcus Rashford. I know people will say Gunnar should be the one getting the start, but one thing I had a problem with Garnacho last season was I felt he played way too many games and he became redundant and useless. The first season, the season before last, Garnacho had his best games for United whilst coming off the bench. Whilst defenders are tired, you bring on an energetic winger who's direct, who's pacey, who's tricky, and makes things easier for United. So I'd like to see Garnacho stay on the bench, bring him off the bench around, I don't know, the 60th, 65th, maybe even the 70th minute for someone like Rashford. So Rashford on the left is what I want to see. So I want to see a front three of Amad Diallo on the right, Marcus Rashford on the left, and the false nine with Bruno Fernandes. Like I said, as a false nine. So that's the squad that I would like to see. And obviously, second half, maybe bring on the likes of Jaden. You can change the whole front three. Around the 70th, 75th minute, you can maybe then bring on Jaden Sancho off the bench for Rashford. You can bring Garnacho on the right for Ahmed, and maybe even bring on Zirkzee for. You can drop Bruno to the 10 and then remove Mason Mount and put Joshua Zirkzee as the false nine. So yeah, hopefully we play well tonight. Like I said, my score prediction is I'm going to predict Man United win. I think we will win. First game, Old Trafford under the lights. First game of the season. Adrenaline of the players will be high. The fans will be behind the team. There's an air of excitement about Man United once again. So I think we will quite comfortably beat Fulham. I'm going to go ahead and predict I don't know if I should go with a 2-0 score or a 3-1. I'm going to predict a 3-1 win for Man United. I think we will concede a goal. I think we might. I think it's either going to be 3-1 or 2-0. I'm going to go 3-1 United. As for the goal scorers, I can see Emil Smith-Rowe giving us a bit of problems for Fulham. He's looked good in pre-season. I can see Smith-Rowe maybe getting either a goal or an assist. Maybe even that Muniz guy, the striker. But I think Smith-Rowe will be a bit of a problem, so they might score. But for us, I can see a goal from Amad Diallo. I can see a goal from Bruno Fernandes, who just signed a new contract. And maybe even a goal from off the bench from Garnacho. So, I can see the goal scorers for United. The goal scorers, I think it's going to be Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, and Garnacho off the bench. So that's going to make it a 3-1 win for Man United, putting us on top of the table since we'll be the only team who have played a game with us in Fulham. So yeah, that's my prediction. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Do you disagree with anything I said? Let me know. And if you haven't already, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon after the game tonight with my post-match reaction. Peace.